Let's fight. A very good evening and welcome in the ring. Wherever you're joining us from this evening, at home here in Guyana or in the diaspora, let's fight. Welcome in the ring. Those of you who are joining us on Twitter, a very good evening to each and every one of you. Those of you who are joining us on Facebook, good night to you as well. And those of you who are joining us on YouTube, the same to you guys. A very good evening to each and every one of you. Of course, we're going to hold until we reach that magic number. It's Thursday night, and you know it's Talk Back Thursday here in the ring. We want to hear from each and every one of you. It is Talk Back Thursday. And while we wait for you guys to join us, we are going to share, share, share. As you know, we always say the price of admission in the ring, even to come ringside, ringsiders, it's a shared live stream, and we want to do exactly that. And we're going to give you an opportunity to talk back to us this evening, wherever you're joining us from. If you only text yes to 627, as a matter of fact, WhatsApp yes to 627-6963. We're going to send you the link at the appropriate time in the program, and you can come in live with your comments. It's Talk Back Thursday here in the ring, and I am searching to make sure that I share as well. And I am practicing what I'm asking you to do. Talk Back Thursday here in the ring. One other place I need to share to guys, and then we are good to go at my end. And I hope you guys are sharing as well. Good to see each and every one of you. Guys, we trust you had a good day, right? Trust you had a good day. If you made it back home, it is enough to say thank you to the master of the universe, to God, to say thank you to him for that. Because so many persons didn't reach back home today from all over the world. So many persons. And for just waking up this morning, for heading out and heading back home safe and sound, it's enough to lift our hands to the Almighty and thank him for that. Guys, we're going to hold until we get to the magic number, and then we are going to start. It is Talk Back Thursday. Thank all of you guys for joining us here in the ring. Let me ensure that all is well. Good to see each and every one of you. So many of you joining us from Brooklyn, home here in Guyana, the diaspora, New Jersey. Really heartened by all those persons who are joining. I'm going to give a shout out to some of you. I see Saint Romain Adams is on the string there too. Good to see each and every one of you. Good to see each and every one of you there. All right. And we got some instructions. All right. Hope you guys are seeing that. Let me make a comment too. All right. We're looking good, folks. We're really looking good. Let me do what I have to do at my end, and then I'm going to be good to go. All right. All right. All right, guys, we're almost ready to go. We're almost at that magic number. I'm happy that so many persons have already joined us. I'm so happy that so many persons have already joined us. All right. Good to go. Good to see so many of you. Let me give a shout out to some folks at this end. All right. I am very grateful to see so many of you. Carla Washington, I see you there. Melissa Barnwell, I see you there as well. I see Anne-Marie Selby. Good to see all of you guys. Really good to see all of you guys. We're almost at our magic number, folks, and we're gonna get on the way. We're almost where we need to be. Almost where we need to be, folks. All right, let me see what's happening. All right, 1 second, folks. 1 second. I'm trying to pin a comment, which is going to be very, very helpful to us. If you see me mopping my brow, it's only because it's getting a little hot where I am. Want to make sure all is well. All right. All right, guys. Good to have you guys there. And I think we are about ready. Good to see so many of you. Sandrine Beard and um, Trenty McCoy, Angela Coates, Jerry Famas, hope I'm calling it right, Carly, Hendy Braffett, Monica Jones. Good to see each and every one of you guys. Let's get our program on the way. Let's get our program on the way. Quite a few things to discuss this evening with you, and I hope I get through all of it. As you know, it's Talk Back Thursday. It's Talk Back Thursday at our end, and we are asking you guys to join the live stream. I've been talking from Monday to now. Just simply WhatsApp yes to 627 6963, and at the appropriate time of the program, you are going to be on with us. Folks, right off the bat, this evening we're dealing with missing persons in Guyana. As you know, there seems to be a trend emerging with a host of young people who have gone missing locally. And I really hope that I can get through all of the names I have here and the information we have concerning these persons who have gone missing. Again, at the appropriate time in the program, because it is Talk Back Thursday, where you get a chance to have your say in the ring. We hope that you will WhatsApp yes to 627-6963, and we'll send you the link so you can join the program live. If you see me mopping my brow for a minute or two, you will understand why. So, folks, right off the bat, I want to start. As you know, we had mentioned just last evening on our program, this 19-year-old University of Guyana student, Joel Skeete, who went missing on the 31st day of March. On the 31st day of March. He's 19 years old, Joel Skeete. As you know, about 2 days ago, Joel was found dead. He was found dead. And it's quite interesting as I'm getting more and more of this story. Let me give you some of the facts, ladies and gentlemen. The badly decomposed body of Joel Skeete was discovered on Monday last on the west bank of the Demerara River at Bellevue. Of course, this is how we would say home here in Guyana, over the river, right? Again, he is 19 years old. The body was positively identified by his uncle, one Colonel Julius Skeete. Good. What is interesting in this missing case, now found dead, is that Joel was last seen at a barber shop at the Harbor Bridge Mall on the East Bank. So from where he was last seen to where his body turned up, it is quite a mystery. What is even more interesting is that a story coming out, some information I saw, and I got that bit of information, mind you, from Newsroom. Some additional information from an online entity called Global News Online. They said that, according to his mother, "Mom, I'm coming home," was the last word that the mother heard from her son before he went missing. Good. Again, they would have said as well that he was last seen at this barbershop. Of course, what is different in this report is that it states that Joel lived some 20 minutes away from the barbershop, walking distance. So he lived on the east bank and not on the west bank. 20 minutes walking distance. The mother recalled that earlier that evening, she followed Joel to the East Bank Public Road and watched him walk over towards the Harbor Bridge Mall, like any parent would do. She had returned home to await Joel. The mother said around 1910 hours rather, he called her and said that he was finished cutting his hair and he was leaving the barbershop to come home. She added that because of the hour and security concerns, she had advised Joel not to walk home, but to take a taxi from the Nandi Park entrance. And of course, the rest is history. Joel again was found in a badly decomposed state at Bellevue on the west bank of the Demerara. So it's quite interesting, very, very interesting, how his body would have arrived there. And again, we are still watching to the police for the additional information as regards their investigation, ladies and gentlemen. And this morning we had an organization coming out and speaking out, especially on the death of Joel and the other persons who would have gone missing. And putting out a statement was one Shaquan Gill, who purports to represent an organization called um, Empower Guyana. The name of the young man is Shaquan Gill, and he had some interesting comments. And I want to take some of that, and then we're going to come back with some more of the persons who are missing home here in Guyana.
Hey everyone, my name is Shaquan Gill, and I am a senior youth ambassador at Empower Guyana. It is with distinct sadness and sympathy that Empower Guyana expresses its sincerest condolences to the family of young university student Joel Skeete. Over the past few weeks, there has been an unusual number of disappearances, specifically in our populace of young adults and children. We at Empower Guyana are extremely distraught because of this. Empower Guyana is making a specific and urgent plea to the Guyana Police Force to conduct a thorough and intense investigation first into the disappearance and death of the young Joel Skeete, who was filled to the brim with peculiar potential. These disappearances of our youth are not to be taken lightly, and we urge the relevant authorities to meticulously investigate same. Also, we charge our young men to act responsibly and not to take advantage of our young women. As much as possible, we hope that our young men can help any young woman that may be in danger, as opposed to being an additive to any already treacherous situation. Empower Guyana wishes to advise the two operating telephone companies to implement some mechanism that can allow persons easy internet access or the ability to make emergency calls with little or no cost. We also wish that our young women do as much as they can to avoid such situations by sharing their locations with relatives and or close friends. Avoid traveling alone as much as possible. Use registered taxi services as opposed to random taxis. If you use a private hire car, ensure you make a note of the license plate and share that with friends and relatives as well. Empower Guyana will continue to speak out against such disturbing occurrences and do everything in its power to raise awareness and provide the necessary education needed to fight and curb the high rate of missing persons cases in our country. We invite you to like, comment, and share this video with the hashtag snap and send so that we can sustain a movement of transformation across Guyana. Peace. Hey everyone.
Folks, there you have it. Shaquan Gill from Empower Guyana asking for a very thorough investigation into the death of Joel Skeete and other missing persons, a thorough investigation. And he did talk about how to access your phone tracking, of which we're going to share some information a little bit later in the program for you. Folks, if you're joining us, we invite you guys to share the live stream as well. Again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family, friends, and classmates and folks at the University of Guyana for Joel Skeete. May his soul rest in peace. Folks, another missing person coming across our radar, and just this morning, quite interestingly, is one Avanes Fernandez. And as we were putting together the information concerning Avanes Fernandez to share with you, we learned from his sister that he also was found dead. Now, 20-year-old Avanes Fernandez, 20-year-old Avanes Fernandez, as Shaquan Gill said, brimming with potential. These young people brimming with potential is a pork or was a pork knocker at Mabaruma Compound Northwest District, and he was reported missing last Monday around 21 hours by his brother, last seen by his brother, Simon Fernandez. Now, he was employed, according to the report that we have here by Daily News Guyana, he was employed by one gold miner, Kit Alfonso, also called Rat, of Airstrip End, Port Kaituma, Northwest District, at 13 miles, Tree Line Back Dam, Arakaka, again in the Northwest District. According to the report, Fernandez was seen wearing a black and white, a black and white and red stripe long sleeve jersey with light gray long pants again, and he was found this morning. His sister reported that he was found this morning. She, of course, said how the family was very, very distraught. This was their worst fears realized. Avanes Fernandez, 20 years old, who went missing on Monday as well and turns up dead. Of course, you see this trend of young people go missing and then they turn up dead. Folks, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends and even the workmates of young Avanes Fernandez. Again, haven't even started to live life as yet at 20. Tremendously young, full of potential, and has met his demise in this way. One report indicates that Mr. Fernandez, Avanes Fernandez, was found floating in a nearby Trencher Creek in the vicinity of where he lived and traversed on a daily basis. And we have learned that the police have launched an investigation. Again, folks, our thoughts and prayers go out to his friends and his family, his siblings, Simon, his sister Lola, and all of the other family members there, and also his entire community, because we understand that a death such as this and in such a manner, a person so young has on not only the family but the community as well, and we can only imagine the grief that has gripped the Northwest District. Again, another young person who went missing and now turns up dead. Folks, we invite you to share the live stream. We want as many persons to be able to benefit from the information we're going to share this evening and to have your say on the program. We invite you to text, to WhatsApp yes, to 627-6963. And at the appropriate point in the program, we're going to send you that link, and you're going to come on and make your contributions based on the discussion we're having this evening, missing in Guyana. Folks, please share the live stream. And so again, this one here with Avanes Fernandez really touched a chord because as we were preparing and gathering the information for you, we learned that his body was found. And this other individual who has gone missing as well has endeared herself to us. And I'm talking about Shanette Doa. Shanette Doa out of Linden, who has gone missing. And Shanette, as I said, is from Linden and has been missing since Saturday. She has been missing since Saturday. That's information we have. She was last seen on Saturday evening, according to the report that we have, by her boyfriend, who told relatives that she would have left home. Sorry, rather, she would have left the home they shared together for work. Shanette Doa is 21 years old, young again. So we see 19, 20, 21 years old, right? She is 21 years old and seen last by her boyfriend leaving for work. The boyfriend and other family members have since filed a missing persons report with the police in Linden. According to the grandmother, Constance Dover, family members are extremely worried about the missing woman since she is not known to be away from her home and not be in contact with anyone. Again, the report states that the grandmother and several of her friends have reached out to the family with their concerns, but with very little information about the whereabouts of the young woman. She said her granddaughter was not known to be having any problems with anyone. Folks, if you have any information concerning Shanette Doa and her whereabouts, you ask to contact the closest police station, or you can contact the family on telephone 442-1616, 442-1616, or on 470-6846, 470-6846, or also on 671 for the 6455, also on 671 6455. Again, another young person, 21-year-old Shanette Doa, 21-year-old Shanette Doa, and she has left us. One hopes for the best. One hopes for the best that she is found alive and well. So if anyone has any information, or if there are folks out there who have Shanette or know where she is, please contact the nearest police station or the family members via the numbers I will have just shared with you. Folks, we have to be each other's keeper. Whatever this is, I am not going to cast any blame just as yet. I know a lot of persons are angry by what they see as a pattern. A lot of persons are angry, but we are not going to, we are going to exercise patience and see and have an understanding of what is happening. Interestingly, the Member of Parliament, the Honorable Amanza Walton Desir, posted some comments on Facebook, which I think are very, very instructive and worth repeating here. Very, very instructive and worth repeating here. She says that the frequency with which teenage children are being reported missing is a serious cause for concern. I am deeply disturbed that this issue does not appear to be receiving the full attention of the Guyana police force. So far, it appears that it is being left up to families and the public, and public-spirited citizens rather, on social media to highlight the cause of these missing children. She goes on to state, I strongly recommend that the Guyana Police Force considers the implementation of a national alerting system, which would at a minimum ensure that its significant networks are engaged in bringing the facts of the missing persons to the attention of the Guyanese public, as well as the implementation of a system to receive information and tips from the public. And folks, we hope that in some small way, this program is going towards doing just that, bringing to the fore what is happening. So again, our thoughts and our prayers go out to Shanette Doa, go out to her family members, go out to her friends, and all those who know and love her. We are praying for her safe return home, and we hope that you guys are doing the same. Anyone who knows about her whereabouts, we are asking you to please get in contact with the police or her family. And folks, I encourage you to share this live stream. I encourage you to share it so as many persons can benefit from the information as possible. And as the Member of Parliament, Amanza Walton Desir said, she says, our children deserve a safe Guyana. I would say our citizens deserve a safe Guyana. They deserve a safe Guyana. They deserve a safe Guyana. Share the live stream, folks. And with that, I turn your attention now to Mr. Lennox Garvey. And Lennox Garvey, perhaps in a series of persons we have introduced to you thus far, breaks the mold in terms of age. But nevertheless, he has been reported as a missing person. Quite interestingly, Mr. Garvey has been missing since January 1st, 2021. He has been missing since the year started. According to the reports we have and the information we have, the family of Lennox Garraway is seeking the public help to locate and share any information the public might have. Mr. Garraway is 65 years old. He's 65 years old, and as I said, he was last seen on January 1st, 2021. Good. He was seen in the vicinity of Rassville in Georgetown. Rassville in Georgetown. And Rassville is on the southern side of the city. It's on the, it's, or if you're going down Mandela Avenue, what they call the back road. Just as you get to Vincentian Road on Mandela Avenue or the back road, Rassville is the community to the left. He was last seen in the vicinity of Rassville, leaving to visit family member in Berbice. So he was last seen leaving to visit a family member in Berbice. But to date, no one has seen or heard from him. No one has seen or heard from him. The family members have said that he is never a person to leave and not make contact or inform that he has reached his destination. Good. He has never been a person to leave and not report that he has reached his destination. And they're asking if any member of the public has any information as it concerns the missing person, Mr. Lennox Garraway, they are to make contact with 683-4261. 683-4261. Folks, it's rough out there. It's rough out there. And we have to take precautions at every level. We have to take precautions at every level, folks. It is rough out there, to say the least. Now, the next person I want to introduce to you, I have an asterisk over this name because quite strangely and upsettingly, a lot of persons have been posting missing persons, right? As somebody said early on in the day, for Guyanese, like everything is joke. And so over Shamar Henry, I have an asterisk because from my own research and research that we have done for the program, we could not find any mainstream news outlet that mentioned Shamar Henry. We could not find that. And so I have an asterisk over Shamar Henry's name. If anybody knows him and knows this particular story to be true or false, I'd be grateful for you to let me know that so we can scratch it off of our list. But we did come across this as a missing persons, one Shamar Henry. Good. And the little information we have suggests that he's a student of Covent Garden Secondary School. He's a fifth form student. And there are two numbers listed for contact for persons who have any information concerning Shamar Henry: 698-9906 and 630-5742. Again, those numbers are 698-9906 and 630-5742. Again, anybody having any information on 16-year-old Shamar Henry, they're asked to contact those numbers or your nearest police station. I do not understand why Guyanese would want to be creating fake missing persons and all of that, right? If you have your enemies or your frenemies, keep your foolishness for another time and another place. As you can imagine, being in a period like this where lots of young people are going missing, there's anxiety. There's anxiety. And it would be remiss of any of us to add fake news, on social media or on the media in general, right? So that people's resources will be wasted pursuing this kind of fake news. Folks, we got to be more responsible. So again, in the ring, we have an asterisk next to Shamar Henry's name because we have not been able to verify the veracity that he's an actual missing person based on the information that we have, the little information that we have. Folks, and with that, I want to turn your attention to what gospel artist Samuel Medas said quite recently. what Samuel Medas said quite recently, in the same vein of these missing persons. As you know, Samuel Midas, gospel artist, recently won the Guyana Soca Monarch competition. Recent winner of the Guyana Soca Monarch competition. And he says that if you have a smartphone, activate the Find Me feature. Activate the Find Me feature. Give a trusted person your credentials and log in and locate you or your phone if too much time goes by and you cannot be reached, right? So give a trusted person your credentials to log in, to locate you or your phone if too much time has passed and you cannot be reached. He goes on to say, if you have an Android phone, you can activate the SOS alert. You can activate the SOS alert on your phone by tapping 3 times on the power key. It will alert a maximum of 4 persons in your contact list once numbers have been assigned. He says on your iPhone, which we're going to talk about a little later on, hold down the power and the down buttons and the SOS option will pop up. Tell persons where you are going. He goes on to say, only travel in trustable taxis. Quote unquote, trustable. Only travel in trustable taxis. He says, if you can't, then pay attention to the vehicle's number plate and text it to somebody before you get in. Right? He says, pay attention to the vehicle's number plate and text the number to somebody before you get in or after you get in. He said, don't accept rides from strangers. I endorse that. Don't accept rides from strangers. Stay in the rain and wet up if you must. Don't accept rides from strangers. Stay in the rain and wet up if you must. Nobody knows yet what is going on in Guyana, but in the meantime, let's do what we can to keep each other safe. And that is worth repeating. Nobody yet knows what is going on in Guyana, but in the meantime, let's do what we can to keep each other safe. And that is gospel artist Samuel Medas, who's also the reigning Soca Monarch champion. And folks, on that note of the Find Me feature, we did see one Mr. Shaka, let me get his name correctly, Shaka Roger Jackman would have posted a video towards that end, and we want to share it with you so that you have all the information that we have at the moment where this is concerned. So we're gonna take that video that was produced by Mr. Ishaka Roger Jackman about activating the emergency contacts on an iPhone. Right? And then I'm going to be back with you on the other side. Take a listen, folks.
Okay, so this setup is to how you can activate emergency contacts on your iPhone. Open the settings, click on SOS, emergency SOS. Choose setup account, edit, scroll down all the way to add emergency contacts and search or select your contacts. In this case, I'm using my mom and my wife. It asks for a relationship. And this is making it easier. So these persons will receive a text message should you activate your emergency account by triple tapping your power button on the right side, usually for iPhone. So you see my contacts are set up now. So I'll go back home and I'll test it. At this point, I will now triple click on the power button and you see the emergency SOS. This usually calls 911. In this case, I'm just testing, so I'll not accept the call. However, this is the part that is important, where it notifies your emergency contacts. In this case, a text message was sent off, and this is what the text message looks like. And after that, you have the opportunity now to end or stop sharing your emergency location. This is activated and will remain active until you end this or someone gets your phone. This would be showing on the screen, as well as the name of your emergency contacts will be on top of the screen until this is stopped sharing by whomever. So I hope this is helpful to you guys. Have a good rest of the day.
Folks, welcome back. There we have it. Again, that was Ishaka Jackman walking us through, and I'm going to post this video on my page after the program, walking us through how you can activate the emergency contacts on your phone. I'm going to post the video after the program. Let's get on with some of the other persons who have gone missing. And I want to inform you here that quite recently, it was posted that there were two persons kidnapped from this organization called Emerge. I think it's a call center called Emerge. And there were two persons kidnapped from that organization. I said to you early on, persons in the midst of all of this worry and grief are pulling pranks. Emerge issued a press statement quite recently that said that no kidnappings happened at their premises. And let me just read it because it's a very, very brief press statement. They say that with the recent spike in alleged kidnappings and missing persons being reported, it is only natural that rumors begin to circulate. In that vein, we have noticed rumors circulating that an individual was kidnapped from our premises. We wish to make it clear that no such thing would have occurred. No such thing would have occurred. We take our employees' safety extremely seriously and ensure that our environment is a safe space for them to work free from worry or harm. They say that they remain committed to their employees' safety and ensuring that they are protected while on site. So again, Emerge saying that no employee was kidnapped from their premises. No employee was kidnapped from their premises. Folks, I turn your attention again back to some of the persons who are missing. And I want to share with you, Quincy Lewis. And what is interesting about Quincy Lewis being a missing person is that Quincy is a police constable. So you understand that it is not only that this can affect anybody. Let me put it like that this can affect anybody. Quincy Lewis has been missing since last year, June 19, 2020. Quincy has been missing since last year, June. Right? And Quincy, it says, left his home at Parfait Harmony on the West Bank for work. He left his home at Parfait Harmony on the West Bank for work. He's a serving member of the Guyana Police Force since 2015. It says he was last seen on the afternoon of June 19, 2020. He was last seen on that afternoon when he left in his friend's car, PTT 7541. PTT 7541 to report for work. So he left for work in his friend's car. Good. His cousin, Revon Jordan, told the publication, the Guyana Chronicle, that I'm sharing the story from, that he had initially thought that Mr. Quincy Lewis, right? He had initially thought that Mr. Quincy Lewis was in line. This is what they say in the police service or in the joint services. You're in line, you're on call, you're on duty for an extended period of time. So he thought his cousin was in line, seeing that he was a policeman and that was part of his job. However, a few days later, the owner of the motor car that Quincy had borrowed was suspicious as well, right? Since calls to Quincy's phone went unanswered, things went even more downhill when the family decided to call the Agricola police station where he was stationed. And the colleagues told him he never showed up for work. That is what they learned when they called the Agricola police station where he was to report for duty. Good. So Quincy has been missing since last year, June. An investigation was launched and a review of CCTV footage at various points on the Demerara Harbor Bridge show that Mr. Lewis, Quincy Lewis, did cross the Demerara Harbor Bridge, presumably on his way to work at Agricola. However, he has not been seen or heard from since that time. He has not been seen or heard from since that time. And anybody knowing Quincy's whereabouts, anybody knowing where he is or who has him, can contact 677 6547, 677 6547, or 680 1436, 680 1436. If you have any information as it concerns Quincy's whereabouts. Again, he has been missing since last year. He has been missing since last year. Folks, again, now is the time I want to talk with you as I share some of the other tips we have, how to stay safe. So if you want to come in, and some persons did indicate so, I am ready for you guys to come on. It's 627 WhatsApp. WhatsApp yes to 627 6963. I've sent the link for some folks. I'd be happy for you guys to come on now. 627 6963. And some of the tips we have for you in terms of your safety and yes, your general safety. Some of the tips we have for you: one, be vigilant. And these are some tips that we have seen shared, and we think that they can be mentioned. They are worth mentioning. So one, we got to stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. Don't go anywhere without informing someone. Let people know who you're with, where and when. And if possible, go with company. Do not go anywhere without informing someone. Let people know who you are with and where and when. And if possible, go with company. Folks, please share this live stream so as many persons can benefit from this information. Thirdly, don't send your kids to the shop right now. I think this is very practical. Too many adults send the 7-year-old or 5-year-old to the shop. Don't send your kids to the shop right now. Go yourself. Go yourself. Don't send your neighbor kids either. Don't send your neighbor's kids either. Some people like to do that. Your kids home safe, and the neighbor kids, you treat anyhow. So don't send your neighbor kids either. Go yourself, right? And then you're advised here to buy devices with tracking abilities. And we've spoken about some of that, some of those smartphones with tracking abilities, and ensure that they are turned on and functional, right? And functional. I would love to see some of your own tips. I'm going to try to read some. If you have any tips, put in the comments. I'm going to try to read some. Drive with all your windows up and doors locked at all times. Well, I am this cautious. You're going to tell me this twice. Drive with your windows up and your doors locked at all times. You're being advised to get a dash cam with a front and rear cameras. With front and rear cameras. Right? We're advised that they're inexpensive. You can get one for under $10,000 or $50 US. Get a dash cam. Drive with your windows and doors up at all times. Right? At all times. Another point that is made is to get the tools necessary to protect yourself legally. And tools here in uplifted commas. Get the tools necessary to protect yourselves. Get the tools necessary to protect yourselves. And again, as Sammy would have mentioned, Samuel Madas, before you get into a taxi, send someone a description of the car, the color, the make, the plate number, and the driver. If possible, send pictures. All right, if you're going to use taxis or so on, you got to protect yourself. And this other point is one that I really like. This other point is one that I really like. All right. This other point is one that I really like. It says, stop walking the streets digitally distracted and with your ears plugged up and listening to music. Stop walking the streets digitally distracted with your ears plugged up and listening to music. Digitally distracted. I see this all the time. One evening, I was in the vicinity of Quabana Street, Quabana and Camp Street, and there was a young lady. She didn't look older than 17. It was about 7 o'clock. I think it was a weekend. Standing on the corner waiting on somebody. She walked up there from the avenue, the Camp Street Avenue, and you can tell she was waiting on somebody. Right? She was waiting on somebody. And like the tip we had earlier on that says we have to look out for each other, well, I was looking out for her that evening. Right? And told her of the dangers of being in that area at that hour. Right? And that corner was practically dark. I see too many young ladies on the seawalls by themselves. Too many young ladies on the seawall by themselves. Again, like they're waiting on someone. That's a meeting spot. So he tell you, go and wait by the bandstand or go and wait by Sheriff Street end of the seawall, and you see a young lady sit down on the seawall, just waiting and playing with your phone and checking through. Digitally distracted. Digitally distracted. I think that is worth repeating. And again, turn on or set up the SOS features on your smartphone. We got to learn. These are things you're probably accustomed to do, but these are the times we're living in, folks. Turn on and set up the SOS feature on your smartphone. All right? And again, they say we cannot stress enough that you have to be vigilant and not just watch out for yourself, but watch out for others as well. We have to be vigilant. Not just look out for yourself, but we got to look out for others as well. I would love to hear from some of you now. Folks, all you got to do is WhatsApp yes. WhatsApp yes to 627-6963. 627-6963. I'd love to hear some of your tips, and let me turn my attention to what has been happening. If we have any comments. Alison Bennett says, make sure you use a taxi service. Alison Bennett says, make sure you use a taxi service. Yep. A known taxi service. Make sure you use a taxi service. Right? That is very important. Sometimes you're so busy, perhaps digitally distracted, and you just flag down any car on the road. Any car on the road, people just flag down. But we got to be vigilant. And so Alison Bennett's tip is to use a taxi service. Right? And I think that is a good tip. Right? Hazelyn King says, don't walk alone at nights. Do not walk alone at nights. And I think that is very, very sound advice there. Do not walk alone at night. Let me see if I can bring up some of these comments. Do not walk alone at night. Yep. Very, very sound tip. Do not walk alone at night. Right? As we said earlier on, let folks know where you're going and who you're going with. Here is what Gary Greenwich says. Women, get yourself a mace or pepper spray and always keep it on the ready. Get a mace and some pepper spray and always keep it on the ready. I would only edit that, Gary, to say women and men. Women and men. Get yourself a pepper spray and keep it always at the ready. Right? And as we were saying on the taxi end, Shell Lumumba says, register taxis only. Yep, I think it's worth repeating. Register taxis only. Folks, ensure you share the live stream. I wish some of you came through this evening to let us know your thoughts online live. 627 WhatsApp yes to 627 69 63. And I think we have Joy with us. Let me see what Joy will tell us this evening.
Night, everyone. It's quite alarming. As a teacher, when you look around and you see your kids, it's like what exactly is happening. I have two sons, and it's like I'm so anxious every time I hear someone or disappear, something is happening to a young person. It makes me so anxious. Cheryl, I'm at the point I don't even want my sons to leave the yard.
Yeah,
I'm at that
yeah,
point. And you
yeah,
know what? It's hard for me as a parent because I suffer from anxiety
yeah,
and panic attack.
yeah,
I'm a person that suffers from anxiety and panic attack, and it's hard, to actually let them go to the shop. I mean, the older one he's 15, but I'm scared, and the shop is like 6 or 7 doors away. It's like it's hard. I could imagine what the parents are going through. And you know what is alarming, Sherrod? School is going to be reopened on Monday, and we have children who are going to actually have to wait on drivers, who are going to actually have to wait to catch a bus. What happens then? We have
yeah.
children who are
Well, our only
regretting.
consolation is that we're hearing now that school has been shifted back. That opening, I was made to understand as we were coming on that that date, the 12th for school reopening, is being pushed back, and again, it's in light of the upsurge in COVID-19 cases. So that's the consolation that we have where that is concerned.
So
Go
that
ahead, Joy.
goes for the grade 10, 11 and
I'm not
children.
sure on the grades that are affected, but I just learned that schools, the opening would be pushed back.
I want to urge our young people, especially those who may or may not be returning to. So let's say school open. The big set of linemen that they like to stand and wait, even though COVID is there. We find some children are lining. Get about your business. If you have to jump in a bus, jump in a bus,
Yeah,
be home.
yeah. But
You
parents going
know,
to really have to be more vigilant now. Parents are going to have to be extremely vigilant now where this is concerned. Yeah,
and you know what? Don't allow your children to say, but they're going to malls and hang out. Now is
yeah,
not the time for hangout. Yes, we're in a pandemic. We feel clustered at home, but right now our safety is our main priority. If we're gonna
exactly.
go out, we have to go out in clusters. You go out with your parents. You go out with persons responsible. And as you said, emphasize on catching taxis that
Yeah,
catching
correct.
taxis that are registered, that that you do not hear them having incidences. Because I could remember a month ago, my sister took in, and we could have called a particular base, and they said here at 11:30 we drop our XYZ.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
had that login, and
That is the
the driver
advantage.
could have even told us what color clothing she wore and which entrance to the hospital they drop her. So you want bases like those, not
Correct.
any spur of the moment base, because we realize in the light of what is happening, there are a lot of bases opening now, taxi services. But you have to rely on the ones that you know about. If they say they have a car and it's next 10, 15 minutes, you decide, hey, I'm gonna wait.
Hold the
Or
strain. Yeah,
or you get somebody reliable, sure, it's sad to say that public transportation is probably one of the safest right now,
mhm.
but it's not, because COVID is there. Because I'm saying, if you jump in a bus, there are other passengers in the bus,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. So
correct.
there you have witnesses, but then COVID too.
Yeah.
So I
Safety
don't.
precautions either way. Safety precautions either
Yeah,
way. Yeah.
safety precaution either way. So I'm saying that I'm scared. And with the child, Shamar Henry, I know you as a former pupil at Stella Maris Primary. Um, Speaking to his teacher, yes, indeed, it's claimed that he's missing, but I'm not sure. How it's kind of they're saying probably he went somewhere
Hmm.
at a friend. I'm not
Okay.
sure, whatever it is, but based on talking to his class teacher, his family members told her that he's missing.
But I'm happy we have that additional bit of information.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming through, Joy.
Okay, bye bye.
Yeah. James, how are you doing?
I am great, and yourself, Sherrod. Nice
I
being
am good
back
too,
on your
James.
program.
Yeah. What's on your mind there?
Um, well, I mean, it's a serious issue that is under ad- getting the attention, national attention, and it should be. I think it should be
That's
fleshed
the
out.
attention that it needs. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be fleshed out to the fullest extent. Um, I am very appreciative of some of the guidelines that you put out tonight as to what and what should not be done. However, what is critical is getting people to understand not only what to think, but how to think. We are living in very perilous times, and perilous from the standpoint that we are a nation to some extent without a government, and a government without a nation. Having said that, one of the things that I didn't hear mentioned tonight was the fact that organ harvesting is also something that is escaping the attention of a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are a lot of drugs available out there that even when you sometimes you started out with a certain group of people, let us say you let everybody know who you're with. At a certain time of the night, if those insidious drugs get into whatever you might be consuming, you may not even have the alertness of mind to see where else you went after them.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think that is
And
why that aspect of going out with company is important, with
right.
trusted company.
And sometimes, we have to start. Um, I think Guyana is at a serious crossroad where we have to start looking at relationships and how we value relationships. Because I think coming up to the last election, a lot of people were more that I heard on the electronic media were more concerned with the reason for government change was they were able with the current government to get a dollar. And you, fine, we know a couple people died, but you were still able
Yeah.
to get a dollar.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
mean, the emphasis is no longer on quality of life. It's basically having something to put in on your
Economics.
plate. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very dirty shade of economics.
And James, it's interesting that you would mention that because on the COVID front, that is the argument there that I saw the advisor to the Ministry of Health, Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, putting forward. Even with what he considers to be a new strain of COVID out there, even deadlier, he says, they're trying to strike a balance with opening up the economy so people could make money.
Well, the harsh reality is that COVID is here.
Yes.
We have to deal with it and live with it.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I don't want to be the one that is going to throw a monkey wrench into this whole discussion, but I am I am at some time appalled at the level and the kind of discussions we are having as it relates to this issue.
Yep. And
Quite
and
rightly,
and James, as you're on that point, I have a member of the public who is saying that if you go clubbing with friends, don't ever leave alone. If you go clubbing with friends, don't ever leave alone. And you shouldn't even be clubbing in these COVID times. But the point is well noted. If you go clubbing with friends, don't ever leave alone. Don't go clubbing alone either, and don't leave alone.
right. I mean, look, I came up at a time in my parents' home when my father used to instill in me that if you're having a drink and you put it down, you don't come back and pick it up to consume it.
Yeah.
right? Now, as I'm saying all of this to say that even when you're in the company of people, you don't know where the lurking dangers are coming from. And as unfortunately, if you want to go clubbing or you want to go hanging out, you have to start thinking that there may be dangers lurking somewhere,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we may not be able to control all of the inflection points for which that danger can come creep in and cause us harm. So we have a
And
choice.
yeah. And
We
that's why
have a
being
choice.
vigilant again is so important.
It's very
That's why
critical. It's
being
very
vigilant is tremendously
critical.
important.
It's very critical. And I would probably suggest that coming out of the opposition camp, they start having some serious. I think you mentioned this MP. What's her
Oh
name
yes.
again? She was talking
Walton
about these.
Desir,
Yeah, yeah. She was
an
talking
Amber
about
Alert kind of system. Yeah.
exactly Amber Alert kind of system, which should be probably it should have already there should have been some legislation already in the pipeline granted these kind of things happening coming from even the government side that
Yeah.
they show some care and concern and have it out there, but we're not seeing it. I'm not even hearing the police saying anything. They look like
James, the point is
they're
noted.
wide awake. They're wide
Yeah.
awake in a sleep.
And again, that is what Amanzi Walton Desir MP said, that the police seem to have left it up to the parents, the relatives, and friends to make these issues public. Unfortunately, James, we've come to program time. I hope next week we get a chance to hear some more from you.
Yeah, man, and continue the good work. Have a blessed one.
Thanks very much, James, and thanks for coming through again. Folks, there we have it. Missing persons in Guyana. I wish I could have got a chance to touch a couple of folks, but I want to thank you guys for joining us this evening. That video concerning turning on the alert feature for your contacts, I'm going to post it and we're going to have it up after the program. We advise you on the COVID front to continue to social distance, continue to sanitize, continue to wear your mask. And if you're in groups of tens and so on, folks, still stay socially distant. COVID is a killer, compounded by what is happening with all of these missing persons. Guys, the onus is upon all of us to stay vigilant and stay safe. We want to thank you for joining our program this evening again and again and again. Do stay safe. Thanks for joining, and remember to share our live stream so as many persons can benefit from the discussion we had this evening. Thanks for joining, folks.